What is up, guys? It's Troy at the Full Setup, back with another video for you, and today this is going to be the first edition of Goods In. So sort of self-explanatory really, it's just the stuff that I am getting sent in. Now, as I mentioned to quite a few of you last year on sort of on Discord and at the end of a lot of the gaming benchmarks, you know, this year I'm moving out of my house and I'm moving into my girlfriend's house, so I've got to do up this house and do up her house. So I haven't had as much time to make content as I would like, but that being said, people are still sending out. I'm still trying to keep the channel going, still doing lots of videos as well. So rather than where I normally do for every product would do an unboxing, or maybe it makes the video, the actual product review, a little bit longer because I'm putting the unboxing in there, I'm just going to do it as like a whole sort of separate video. Now, there was a fourth item. I have just got a new amplifier as well, but there's sort of a bit of a reason why I bought that amplifier, so I'm going to save that for another video. But today what we have is some great things that have been sent out. So from iFi we have the Zen Blue. This is a high-res Bluetooth DAC, which supports LDAC, sells for about £130. Then we have the Sabrent Rocket NVMe. This is a 1TB NVMe drive. Huge thanks for sending that over. And then under here we have the FirstPlayer MK8 fire dancing kit. FirstPlayer aren't exactly great with naming their mouse and keyboards. I think that's like a $35 mouse and keyboard set, so obviously it's not going to be mechanical, although you can get some sets for that price. But yeah, we just thought we'd have a little look at all of these, and then obviously there'll be reviews of all these coming a little bit later. Now, it might take me a little bit longer to review the SSD than I wanted to, although it will be featuring in some upcoming videos, as potentially I do have a, fingers crossed, a very big company on board which are going to be regularly sending me out like pre-built gaming PCs for me to have a look at, do reviews, lots of other hardware as well. So I'm thinking about using this one as a game drive. So where should we start then? Should start with the Zen DAC, mainly because I want to listen to some music in a bit. So we're going to start with the Zen DAC. So as a lot of you will know, with the Blue Dento HD video that I did recently, is that I've actually become quite a big fan of Bluetooth of late because of higher res codecs like aptX HD and LDAC, which this one supports. Now LDAC can do 24-bit 92 kilohertz, so it's not super high res audio. I know there's a lot of people in the industry that says it's not high res, but it is high res for Bluetooth. So this is the Zen Blue. Now, iFi actually makes some really expensive gear. I'm talking DACs up into the thousands, headphone amplifiers as well. And but this is from their lower end of the range. So this is them saying you can still get some great iFi quality at a cheaper price. This one sells for about £130. Sadly, I've got to send this one back, but I've really been looking forward to it. Can we get some focus here? Probably can't see that there, but it says LDAC, ACC, aptX, aptX HD, and HWA. Zen Blue on the bottom there. Then we have a picture of the DAC. Now, I am going to do a full review of this as well with some sound tests. With audio gear, I always like to play with it for about 3 or 4 weeks. And although I've got to send it back, iFi are happy for me to keep it for a couple of months. So that's good. So it's using the Qualcomm QC5100 series. Like I've just told you, all the formats that it's got there. Now, it's using a, I can't remember what it's using for the DAC. It's using a Sabre DAC, but they don't tell you which model it is. iFi don't like to do that, and I would like them to tell me. Now, this sells for about £130, and one thing I'll talk about a little bit more in the review is that I thought this over the Audio Engine one that they make. Is it Audio Engine? I think it might be the Audio Engine Bluetooth receiver. Now, that one probably uses a bit of a better DAC. It uses a very nice, it uses a very nice AKM DAC in it. So I think on the music side it would have done a bit better, but it didn't support as high-res formats as this did. So there's a warranty card and then some sort of brief quick instruction guide. But I'll go through all this a little bit more in the review. So I'm having some terrible camera focusing today. So then we have this little box here. So have a little look what's in the box. Power supply, UK plug. Looks like it's got a nice long lead on it as well. I always like these to be a little bit longer for audio stuff. That's quite a nice looking RCA cable. There it is. iFi on the end there. Looks to be gold plated. Quite short, but then the thing is with this, you're probably going to just sit it on top of your amplifier, so it doesn't need to be that long. It's better than having a real long RCA cable in the bag. And what else have we got in here? What looks to be a sort of high gain aerial. And here is the DAC. Our Bluetooth DAC. Which, to be fair, is just We'll look at it in the review a bit more, but it is gorgeous. So imagine that's a Bluetooth pairing button on there. That sounds nice. It doesn't feel very nice. It's got like this mushy feel to it, but like it's going to break maybe? I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of weight to this. I think this thing weighs, does it say on the back? Here's my little sleeve. 476 grams this thing weighs. Let's get some focus. You've got a couple of lights here. Now, one is for the kilohertz, and the other one, because I've already read the manual on it a little bit. Now, this logo will light up, but it'll be different colours for what format of Bluetooth you're playing. Nice little rubber feet on the bottom there. Let's have a little look at the business end. You have options for analog or digital. There is a 4.4mm balanced output, and then you have your RCA output. So basically, if you want to use the DAC, the included DAC, you're going to analog straight. You're going to come out of the analog thing. So it's doing the digital to analog conversion here. And then if you don't want to use it, say if you've got a very tasty DAC, or if maybe if you just like the DAC that your amp was built with, you know, you want to use that sort of stuff in there. Then you do have a coaxial and an optical output as well. Nice to see I like these, the little plugs to keep that all good. It's nice that you can switch between them as well. I don't know if that means that it's going to be completely isolated as well. I'll have to have a little bit more of a read up on that. But I'm looking forward to plugging this in. Anyway, let's move over to the SSD. So this is the Sabrent Rocket NVMe PCIe M.2 SSD. It also comes with free Acronis True image as well, worth $30. That's quite good. Coming in at £120. It's mad just how much NVMe drives have dropped. Now, you can get some 1TB a little bit cheaper, but this one has read speeds up to 3,400 and write speeds up to 3,000. So that's pushing like Evo 960, almost Evo 970 speeds. Now, the funny thing is they wanted to send the PCI Express 4.0 out, and I said, I haven't got an X570 motherboard at the moment. And then potentially the PC that I'm getting sent out in the next couple of weeks to have a play with has got an X570 motherboard in it. So it's a bit weird. Wow, I'm loving this. That's like an SSD. Is that SSD sized case? Yeah. Oh. Old school. I mean, if you haven't moved over to an SSD yet, you've just got to do it. You might not need an NVMe, at the very least do a SATA. I'm loving this. I'm loving all the packaging here. A nice little instruction guide. Just some precautions. How to plug it in. Now, one thing I would like actually in these is for them to replace some screws, because that is a really easy screw to drop out of your case and lose. And you only get a couple with the motherboard. You can buy them separate on eBay, but I would really just love all manufacturers to start including it. Sorry if some of the tips of my fingers look real grubby. I was playing around with super glue last night. So here's the NVMe drive. It's just crazy. I mean, just to think there's 1 terabyte on there. To think you can get even more than a terabyte on here. They make 2 terabyte ones as well. And like I said earlier, I'm probably going to be using this for a game drive more than I am going to be using it for a boot drive over the next few months. I've got Evo 960s as boot drives, so I'm happy with those. I think it will eventually become a boot drive, but for now, I just wanted to, probably going to do it for one of my games, because if I'm going to have lots of PCs coming regularly to review, then I can just pop it out, put it in another one. You know, I'm going to have to build some system images, because I don't want to set up a new PC like every few weeks. I can't tell you who it is yet, because I don't know, it might not happen, and if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be gutted, but if it does happen, it's going to be a really big thing for me, really big thing. So what have we got last? K8 fire dancing kit. So what's it saying on the box here? 6 key rollover, semi-suspended keycap, rainbow backlight, fuel injection laser engraving on the front, dedicated multimedia key, splash proof. The mouse, 2400 DPI up to, but it goes down to 800 DPI, which I like, because a lot of these cheap mouses don't go down to 800 DPI, which is what I play at. I know you can obviously turn the sensitivity up to get it where you want, but I play at 800. Game level photoelectric engine chip, 4-level DPI setting, and an ergonomic design. Now, the last thing FirstPlayer sent over, I sort of liked it but didn't like it. The RGB wasn't quite bright enough. No, actually, let me remember. It was bright enough, I just have to shoot everything under lighting. Talking of lighting, let's get this a bit brighter. But there was just a few bits. There was just a few bits around it, like up near the top. I think there was this volume rocker and 2 bits of plastic shaped about. I just felt for the price of that one, it was like a $50 keyboard. You could spend a bit more and go branded. So what we got in here then? Got a QC pass. Always take that with a pinch of salt. It's not hard to print one off, is it? I shouldn't say that, but so here is the mouse. So that's sort of, as you can see, it's got that on both sides. So this can be a left-handed or right-handed mouse. Rubber pads on the bottom there. Now, if this is going to be a gaming kit, it says gaming mouse on it. It's got to at least have 2 buttons on the side. So 800 DPI switches there, Pro. No buttons on the side. That's just I'm not going to use it. That'll probably come to work with me. That'll probably just be one of my new. That's at work. Let's have a look at the keyboard. There's a little bit of weight for it because this isn't a mechanical keyboard. Just plug it in. Plug it in. Plug it in. Let me begin. Oh, sorry, I was about to sing House of Pain there. Nobody wants to hear me do that. Oh, they do feel quite nice. If I said they felt like anything, they feel like Reds. Lots of multimedia, lots of multimedia keys across the top here, and they're nice. I think that's what I didn't like about the last FirstPlayer keyboard. All of this I liked. Up here I didn't like. I like these big buttons. They feel nice. These are really mushy though. Extra mushy. How do we turn the bloody light on? Ah, here it is. Here it is. It's the big one with the light bulb on it. Okay. So by the looks of it, turn the light down. All you get is just that. There's no effect on it. It's just a. Normally it's like an up or a down one, but it just seems to be on and off. Let me have a look in the instructions. So yeah, there is only the one lighting option. Now, I think you can probably get better kits for the money. It's probably going to be a hard one for me to recommend. I don't know if I'm going to give it a full review as well. Now, there is a little bit of light coming off of there as well on the FirstPlayer logo. The mouse is actually quite nice. I've got 2 of these kits, so I've already used the mouse. And it's not as good as the Logitech one that I've got, but I can game on it fine, minus the fact that it hasn't got the buttons. The keyboard is actually very nice to type on as well. I just think, let's just say this is like $35. You can almost get a mechanical keyboard for that money, especially if you don't mind getting it imported and waiting for it to be delivered from China, minus the issues that are going on over there at the moment. But you can get a mechanical keyboard and it will probably have some RGB on it as well, and you can get loads of really good mices for $15. So I find it hard to recommend cheap kits because I just think you're better to spend a little bit more and buy it separate. There's always one of them that isn't as good. So obviously I don't like that it's just a single lighting colour. It's nice, it's got lighting, but it's a nice keyboard. Sadly the mouse just isn't up for me, so you end up spending sort of $10 more, you know, to get it as a kit, when actually one of the bits it comes with you don't really. Anyway, that's just the first goods in. So huge massive thanks to Sabrent sending out the SSD, huge thanks to iFi for sending out the DAC, which will send a review, and obviously a big thanks for FirstPlayer to sending out that mouse and keyboard kit, even if I'm not a very big fan of it. But anyway, there should be reviews coming of all these products very soon. There's going to be an amplifier review coming up, and fingers crossed we're going to have some pre-built PCs being sent out. Anyway, that's it from me today. Any questions about any of these products, ask me in the description, and make sure you come back and check out the reviews later, and I'll put the links down once those reviews are live as well.